Now, care-strapped consumers are thinking twice about indulging in their favorite beer due to rising inflation and higher excise tax, which is reducing their discretionary spending. This is according to South African Breweries, which held a beer tax Indaba in Sandton. Ntokozo Khumalo has the details.
When 40-year-old Apiwe Ngusani Mawela ventured into the beer business, her aim was to add diversity to an industry dominated by a few large players. She experienced the teething pains of growing a business, including having to close down a factory at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. A growing pain point for her business now is excessive excise duty tax on her products.
As much as we are still small, we pay the same amount, which affects obviously our operating costs and affects how much we actually obviously able to sell the products for.
While she has seen some recovery from the pandemic with her range of beers, she says that already cash-strapped consumers are not buying like they used to.
Beer, because we're a luxury product, and us as being a premium product, makes it worse for us to actually get our consumers to continue consuming our product.
To encourage consumers to buy her products, she sources all her ingredients from local farmers, localizing her entire production value chain from manufacturing to bottling. South African Breweries says it has the same strategy and contributes more than 43 billion rand, or 1 rand of every 30 rand, to government revenue through excise duties, but faces similar challenges.
We have seen an increased cost pressure as a result of the above inflation increases on things like water and electricity. What this means in its totality is that we've seen a less than 1% overall volume growth in the alcohol industry.
Oxford Economics Africa's latest beer report shows that excess tax has more than doubled over the past 10 years, threatening the growth for large and emerging businesses. Lead economist Dion Fourie is calling on government to rethink its approach when it comes to sin taxes.
All excise or income taxes and excise revenues in general are very responsive to economic conditions. Excise revenues on beer, we've found, are particularly sensitive to economic conditions.
Keith Engel, CEO of the South African Institute of Taxation, says the current tax model is regressive and hurts low-income earners and the poor the most.
Now, I'm not sure what's going on with why beer is being hit more. Maybe because the volumes are large and a larger portion of the population. But again, I'm saying, what are you doing? You're hitting the masses and not the rich. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
According to Engel, the government has some easy wins to consider.
It'll be better if you set a formula approach, maybe 3 or 5 years, rather than a year-by-year announcement. And the second one that I would push for is the fact that you announced it that evening and the next day you have to change is silly. You can push it back and make it take effect 1 April.
For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Johannesburg.